The Birth of Earth, an amazing story. Imagine a time when there were no houses, no people, no dinosaurs, and not even Earth itself. There was only a huge, vast universe filled with clouds of dust, gas, and light. This was more than 4.5 billion years ago. It's hard to imagine so many zeros, but let's try to walk this path together, from chaos to our familiar home. 1. A giant cosmic cloud. Somewhere deep in space floated a gigantic cloud, a mixture of tiny dust particles, ice, and gas. It was cold and calm, like a quiet morning mist. But one day, something disturbed the peace. Perhaps a star nearby exploded. The blast made the cloud collapse and start spinning, like water swirling down a drain. The center of the cloud grew hotter and hotter. Slowly, a large, glowing, fiery body was born at its heart, the young sun. 2. The dance of stones and dust. Around the newborn sun remained lots of cosmic dust and rocks. They constantly collided, stuck together, and grew bigger and bigger. It was like a giant snowball fight, where tiny snowflakes form a huge snowball. This is how planets began to appear: future Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and our Earth. But Earth back then was nothing like it is today. It was a huge glowing sphere of molten rocks and metals. The surface boiled, and thousands of fragments flew around it. 3. The collision that changed everything. Early Earth experienced one of the most powerful cosmic encounters. A large celestial body about the size of Mars collided with it. Scientists call this body Theia. The impact was so strong that part of Earth and Theia melted and was thrown into space. From this debris, our faithful companion, the Moon, eventually formed. Without this collision, the Moon might never have appeared. And without the Moon, life on Earth would be completely different. There would be no familiar tides, and a day might last only a few hours. 4. Earth cools and becomes a planet. After the collision, Earth remained hot for a long time, like a giant furnace. Gradually, it began to cool. The outer layer hardened. This is how the Earth's crust formed. It was uneven and cracked, like the crust of bread that cooled too quickly. Inside, the Earth was still extremely hot. This internal energy would later create volcanoes, drifting continents, and mountains. 5. Where did water come from? Today, Earth is called the blue planet. But when it was first born, there was hardly any water on its surface. Scientists believe water appeared in two ways. Volcanic steam. Volcanoes released many gases: water vapor, carbon dioxide, nitrogen. As it cooled, the vapor turned into the first drops of water. For thousands of years, rain poured down, filling future oceans. Cosmic gifts. Comets made of ice and water-rich asteroids also brought water when they fell to Earth. This is how the first seas were born. 6. A sky you can breathe. At first, Earth's atmosphere was thick and poisonous. There was almost no oxygen. You could say it was a cocktail of volcanic gases. Over time, some gases escaped into space, some dissolved into the oceans, and the first microscopic organisms appeared. They began producing oxygen. This process took hundreds of millions of years, but eventually the atmosphere became similar to the one we have today. 7. The first continents and moving crust. The cooling crust cracked into huge plates. They slowly floated over the hot layer beneath them. These plates collided, separated, and rose, forming the first continents. Imagine Earth as a giant puzzle whose pieces keep moving. And finally, 8. A home for life. When Earth cooled enough, Water covered most of its surface, and the sky, oceans, and land appeared. The planet became quiet and stable, at least by cosmic standards. This gave the first living creature a chance to appear, tiny and invisible to the eye. From it began the long story of life, leading to dinosaurs, humans, and us. In conclusion, the birth of Earth is a journey, from a cloud of dust to a planet, from a fiery sphere to a blue world, from chaos to the conditions needed for life. Every stone, every ocean, every breath of air is a trace of that distant time when our planet was forming. Earth is not just a rock in space. It is our amazing home, born from stardust.